There's more to Kingsway than just Big Vein. Not that there's anything wrong with Big Vein. I'm sure many companies would like to have Big Vein on their property, but I think we're set to find more than just what we see at Big Vein.
Joining us for a conversation is Roger Moss, the CEO of Labrador Gold. Dr. Moss, welcome to the show, sir.
Thanks, Maurice. It's a pleasure to be back again.
It's a great time to have you back on the program, as Labrador Gold has been on an impressive run with each consecutive press release, this time in the form of another high-grade gold intersect at Big Vein and the announcement of a new discovery zone at the flagship Kingsway Gold Project. Before we begin, Dr. Moss, who is Labrador Gold, and what is the opportunity the company presents to shareholders?
Yeah, I think Labrador Gold is a company. It's got well, obviously we're a gold explorer. We started off in Labrador, which is where the name came from. We still have a property in Labrador called the Hopedale property. It's a property that has a lot of potential. We have most of a greenstone belt up there, and greenstone belts are, as you know, quite prolific hosts of gold mineralization. But last year we picked up our flagship property, the Kingsway Project, and that's been the one that we've been running with since then. So it's I think it's probably one of the best projects that I've been involved with. It's been an exciting time through last year and up to the discovery of what's called our Big Vein occurrence. And now again, as you said, we announced another discovery today of the Golden Glove. So I think it's Labrador Gold is a company that is on the cusp of a significant discovery, and I think that we could see that in the not too distant future here at Kingsway.
And speaking of the Kingsway, let's go there right now and remind us of the unique value proposition before us, please.
Well, I think the one of the things that excited me about Kingsway when we first picked it up was, of course, Newfoundland Gold had announced their major discovery back in March of last year, which was, I think it was 93 grams a ton of gold over 19 meters, which really was quite something. And when I started to look around, I realized that our partner, Sean Ryan, who we'd optioned property from up in Labrador, had ground right next door to Newfoundland Gold. And so we did a deal with Sean. But what really excited me about it was this Appleton Fault Zone. And the Appleton Fault Zone runs through our property. We have about 12 kilometer strike length of that fault zone. But the thing about it is that this is also the major fault that's associated with some of the best occurrences that Newfoundland Gold have been drilling down to the south, including the Keats, the Golden Joint, and the Lotto. And our Big Vein occurrence is also closely associated with that Appleton Fault Zone. Now, it's not just Big Vein, because there were several other, probably 6 or 7, significant gold anomalies outside of Big Vein along the Appleton Fault Zone. And I think this is the key for people that are looking at Kingsway. Yes, Big Vein is a great occurrence. We're drilling it, and we're going to continue to drill it. We're still getting good results, but there's lots of potential outside of Big Vein elsewhere on the Kingsway property.
It reminds me of the commercials that used to be on late at night, but wait, there's more.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, now, throughout the year, Labrador Gold has issued a number of high-grade gold intercepts coming from the Kingsway, and I wanted to take a moment to have you walk us through last week's press release at Big Vein, which boasted an impressive 128.51 grams per ton gold over 1.12 meters. Dr. Moss, walk us through figures 1 and 2 respectively, and talk about the interception and the success you're having as you begin to step out and understand the plunge of the deposit.
Yeah, I think we are understanding Big Vein better with every drill hole, And last week's intersections that we announced were just another testament to that. I think there's a lot going on. It's fairly complex, but we are beginning to understand it a little better. The first figure that you referred to there is it's a plan view of our drilling, and that means that it's like you're looking down at the ground from up in the air, and you can see the big vein zone and the HTC zone together there, and the black lines are the drill holes that are going through those different zones. And you can see that we've been drilling at a pretty tight spacing in those areas to get a handle on this high grade mineralization and how it might be plunging. The second figure is probably shows it a little bit better, and what that is that's the HTC zone, which is where we see most of the high grade intersections. Not all of them. The big vein zone itself has some high grade intersections, but the HTC has a few more. And what we see there and is developing is a fairly steep plunge that you can probably see as we go down, looking down towards the bottom of the diagram. I think it's hole 26. So you have a cluster of dots, red and purple and green up at the top, and then down. If you go down towards the bottom of the figure, that's hole 26, and that's how we think that this is plunging, this HTC zone. So we've got a bit of a dial on that now, and there's, as you can see, there's a hole in the middle between that hole 26 and the cluster of intersections up at the top, and we're filling in that hole right now, and we expect that to fill in quite nicely, and so we'll be developing that HTC zone further down plunge as we continue at Big Vein.
If you thought 128.5 grams per ton was impressive, the story gets better, as today Labrador Gold has announced the discovery of a second epizonal gold discovery at Kingsway, 3.5 kilometers southeast of the Big Vein target, where the company is currently drilling 50,000 meters. Dr. Moss, I don't want to steal your thunder. Please introduce us to your new discovery zone and the high-grade chip samples associated with the new discovery zone that the company's excited about.
Yeah, the Golden Glove. There's a bit of a story behind that, of course, and so we had our prospecting team out following up some soil samples that were taken down there that come back with some good gold anomalies, and there's not much outcrop at all in that area. So this one outcrop stood out a little bit, and the prospectors went up and sampled it. And as they were sampling and putting the rocks in the sample bag, one of the prospectors said to the other one, "Hey, it looks like you have gold on your glove." And sure enough, there were a few flecks of gold on the prospector's glove, and when they looked at the rock in a little bit more detail, they saw that there was visible gold in the rock as well. So that was obviously pretty exciting, and so we got those into the lab right away, and got them assayed, and the results that came back were they were pretty spectacular. I think there was a 338 gram a ton, a couple of around 194, and 84 grams a ton. So for a first pass, that was pretty significant. And I think one of the things that I compare it back. It was almost a year ago that we discovered the Big Vein occurrence, and all of those samples, or at least the 338 and the 194 grams a ton samples, are better than all of the Big Vein samples except one, and that one was out of the park. That was a 1,065 grams a ton sample. So it's probably a bit early to call Golden Glove Big Vein 2.0, but you know, in the early going, it's certainly got some good legs to it.
Yeah, you couldn't ask for a better start there. What does today's announcement further demonstrate?
Well, I think for me and for our team, we've always believed that there's more to Kingsway than Big Vein, especially along the Appleton Fault. As I mentioned earlier, the Appleton Fault it seems to be a really prolific conduit for gold mineralization. Certainly down at Queensway, Newfound Gold has Keats and Lotto and the Golden Joint, as well as many others that they haven't really done a lot of work on that we know of, and so we've been working along the whole strike length of the Appleton Fault Zone, and the Golden Glove is a discovery that I think really shows that there is more high grade mineralization on Kingsway than just Big Vein, and I think we're going to find more along that fault zone as we continue to follow up our early stage work.
And germane to this topic, just remind us one more time, where is this in relation to Newfoundland's gold discovery?
Well, it's actually very close to our claim boundary. It's about 200 meters away from the claim boundary. So everybody was wondering whether the mineralization would extend from Big Vein down to Lotto, which is the closest occurrence of Newfound Gold to our boundary, I think, and that's about 2.5 kilometers away. So now we have Golden Glove, and I think that I think we've shown that this could all link up, and I think there's some periodicity to what the occurrences on Newfound Gold ground, maybe about 1 kilometer apart. These gold occurrences that they're drilling down there, some a little bit closer perhaps, and I wouldn't be surprised to see the same thing on Kingsway as we develop this our prospects along the Appleton Fault.
Sir, before we leave the Kingsway Gold Project, what work is being done on site, and when may we expect to receive more news flow?
Well, I think as you pointed out, we have been generating quite a bit of news, mainly from the drilling at Big Vein, and that will continue as we continue to drill out the HTC zone and the Big Vein zone. But we've also got work going on outside of Big Vein, elsewhere on the property, mostly along the Appleton Fault Zone, but in a few other places as well. And as we prove up those other areas, of which there are probably about 6 or 7, we're going to be putting out news like maybe not as good as we did today, but hopefully we'll see more results outside of the Big Vein occurrence itself.
Switching gears, sir, please provide the capital structure for Labrador Gold.
Right now, we have about 153 million shares out. We got about 41 million warrants, I think, with strike prices of 0.3 to $1.04, and 8 million options between 10 cents and $1.24, I think.
In closing, Dr. Moss, what would you like to convey to shareholders?
Well, I think I think the team's been working hard at Big Vein and out along this Appleton Fault Zone, and I think that we really do. We're really in a very good position, having the 12 kilometers of this Appleton Fault Zone. And I think that the discovery of Golden Glove right on that Appleton Fault Zone, and actually I haven't mentioned that it's actually on the east side of the Appleton Fault Zone, which some people believe is better than the west side. which is where Big Vein is. But that just should give our shareholders some confidence that there's more to Kingsway than just Big Vein. Not that there's anything wrong with Big Vein. I'm sure many companies would like to have Big Vein on their property, but I think I think we're set to find more than just what we see at Big Vein.
Dr. Moss, for someone listening that wants to get more information about Labrador Gold, please share the contact details.
Yeah, the website is www.labradorgold.com. My email address is rmoss@labradorgold.com. I would really encourage people to follow us, our Twitter feed at Lab Gold Corp, and our YouTube channel we do a lot of videos. Some of our interviews like this will probably be posted up on YouTube. We do our own corporate videos where we have people out in the field. There's a lot of information there, which not just me talking, but also sort of behind the scenes look at life out in Newfoundland with our people in the field. So I'd certainly encourage your listeners to take a look at those and get a real sense of what we're doing out here in Newfoundland.
Dr. Moss, it's been a pleasure speaking with you. Wishing you and Labrador Gold the absolute best, sir.
Thank you very much, Maurice. Always a pleasure.
Yes, sir.
The information presented on Proven and Probable is provided for educational and informational purposes only, without any express or implied warranty of any kind, including warranties of accuracy, completeness, or fitness for any particular purpose. The information is not intended to be and does not constitute financial, investment, or trading advice, or any other advice. You should not make any financial, investment, or trading decision based on any of the information presented without first undertaking independent due diligence and consultation with a professional broker or competent financial advisor.